So there was just the first initial flight was supposed to be only 5 hours, and then we were sitting on the plane, and it's like 2 hours later, and we still hadn't taken off. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm already done with the movie. Like, I only got like 6 more downloaded.
44 hours.
What happened? What was that story?
So we take our first flight to, it's supposed to be Newark, New Jersey, and so we're on our flight, and there's like a storm over where we're supposed to land, so the flight says we're gonna do some couple loops around to try to wait out the storm.
Keep going in circles, and we landed in BYU, I think.
So we're like, okay, and then so we're doing those for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like we ran out of gas, so we're gonna land at Washington, and so then we hear screaming in the back of the plane, and two girls pass out, and there's like vomit smell everywhere,
And then we took off, and we were in the air for like another 7 hours, and then it was just like delay after delay after delay.
We had to go down to get gas. Then they said we could get right back on, but it took 9 hours and a half.
So we're landed in Washington, and we're fueling back up again. It takes 4 hours there, just sitting in an airplane. And then we're back up again, and then now we're in Newark, and it's like already morning time again. It took forever on the flight. And then we drive over to JFK Airport, and we get our next flight, and it's to Germany, I believe. And we're in there getting COVID tests. It's gonna take like 8-hour wait, so we just camp up in the middle of the airport, and I just go to sleep on the floor.
I only fell asleep once, so.
We're having the best time.
So girls, how long did your flight end up being?
And it was a total of like 44 hours later that we landed in actual Poland. But I mean, there was sleeping on the floor. We got to that point where we just didn't care that we were sleeping on the floor, because we were just so tired, and we were done sitting up and sleeping. Our first flight was supposed to be 4.5 hours. It ended up being 9.5 hours. Because, well, no, like the in-flight itself. Oh my gosh, my ankles, like I wasn't wearing high socks. I was just wearing leggings and then like low socks. And my ankles were so swollen from like...
What? Swollen?
Yeah, like from like no rest and like just being super used, because I was always walking around and like sitting, that my ankles were never elevated or laying down. And so they literally just so swollen.
Wow. Have you ever been on a flight like that before? I mean, you guys have traveled the world, but have you ever been on a flight that was that bad?
No, we've been to India, which was like a 14 or 15-hour flight, and I mean, I did like throw up on the way back because I was sick, but I mean, I've never been on a flight that has been delayed that badly, ever.
And and then we got our tests, and we got on our flight to Germany. It took a while, and then finally got our layover to Poland. And total up to 44 hours.
Well, at first I was kind of confused why we would be delayed so much, because that would mean less time in Poland serving other people. So I was confused, like, why isn't this running smoothly? Why is there so many delays? Like, we just missed our layover, and just,
It was confusing and weird, but we understood once we got there and we like started serving why we had to do why that all happened.
Like, were you guys praying a lot about trying to get there, or praying, like why wasn't a miracle happening for you guys trying to get to help people? I mean, was there some talk about that?
I thought it was cool how we could just relate to a little piece of what they're experiencing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was part of what's cool about it. And yeah.
Sure was for you. Then why were you delayed, and what was the answer for that delay?
It was like the perfect preparation to understand what they're going through, because we just experienced a small, minute amount of what they're feeling and what they're going through.
Relate to them a little bit?
Yeah, like my mom was talking about that. Like we're like relating straight to the Ukrainians that are crossing the border right now. I'm like, this is bad, and it's like not even as bad. Like we have actually like suitcases and like nice things that we can just carry around with like comfortable and like it was just like it was terrible for us, but like I can imagine what it's like for them.
Yeah.